Kind of crazy. Warcraft 2 has a patch. Warcraft 2 just got remastered a little while ago. We actually beat the original Warcraft 2. I think I was on the good old games on GOG. Dude, it's so fun. I kind of wish I waited until it was remastered to go through and play it again, just because, I don't know. I mean, I guess obviously it would have been a little bit cooler to play right as the remastered came out. But I never expected them to have a patch here. So let's see what this is. UI update. Excuse me. Added alliance menu to online multiplayer games. Players can now change alliances and share vision dynamically in the game. So I guess a lot of this is probably going to be stuff that would be like available in StarCraft 1. StarCraft 1 really was the RTS where they added enough great features that like it should kind of be the hallmark for what you want to have in an RTS game as far as what's available to you. Added classic victory/defeat screen animation and sound effects. Victory screen now always displays the player. The victory screen now always displays the player as first in the list. Okay. Allow folder navigation when selecting custom scenarios when creating online lobby. Added map default option for resources in custom scenario multiplayer. It is now the default option. Added password protection option when creating a new lobby for multiplayer. Added countdown when launching lobby and multiplayer game. Added region indicators on the lobby selection screen. And improved desync error messaging. Okay, this is where it's going to be very interesting. The gameplay changes. By the way, as far as I know, there's no ladder in Warcraft 2 right now. You can match with other people online, but you cannot... I don't know if they have a hidden MMR or not, but there's no way to see where you are or where you're ranked. Which, by the way, they should just add that in. I would be very interested in actually playing ranked Warcraft 2, but I'm the kind of player who will not play a game unless I can see my own progression. I need more than just the highs from beating a player. I want to know, have I excelled? I want to feel the players be stronger as I move up in rank. Interestingly, some of you guys might not know this about me, but I used to play the fighting game Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in tournaments, in arcades. Went to a tournament in St. Louis. I went to several local tournaments in Kansas City. And they just remastered that, and I've been playing that, and they messed up the laddering system for that. Like, you can get Grandmaster basically no matter what if you just play enough games. So I think it's not just that you want to have a ladder in the game, but you also want to have... you want to have a ladder where, like, if you lose, you go down. If you win, you go up. A lot of modern-day ladders are basically designed so that everybody gets a trophy, everybody can be a winner. Have I been wazzled yet? I played Justin Wong when he was in Korea. I almost took one game off him and then lost. It's actually on my Instagram. But no, he bopped me with, like, characters I didn't even know were in the game. He's so good. So I do hope they add a ladder in here eventually. I don't know how complicated that is to even have. I mean, the StarCraft ladder seems to run fine, but I hope they do that. Anyways, big gameplay changes. Added grid key input option into the gameplay options. And we've got balance changes. Now, I feel like if they're going to balance this at all, they should have a ladder. Honestly, I would like to have a tournament. I would run a tournament and cast it on my channel. But they should just really, if they're going to go this far and remaster the game, I really think they should just, give everybody who's an online player the option to see them progress or go down in rank. So Paladin, heal mana cost per HP healed 6 to 5. Heal research time 200, now 100 steps. I guess this is the in-game timer. So it doesn't say seconds, it says steps. I almost wish when I see notes like this, could I get a rough estimate of how many steps is 100 steps? In my experience, everything in Warcraft, upgrades and build times are very short. So that's interesting that it seems like it's been decreased. Exorcism research time, 200 to 150. The Death Knight. By the way, I wish they would have split this up by a human and orc. It's going to, where they're jumping around. Sorry, I'm being nitpicky here. Death and Decay. Mana cost per set of rots created 25 to 30. So it's a little bit more costly. Raise the Dead's skeleton HP was raised. I think that's actually a good change. The skeleton, even though it's a free unit, it's slow. It has such low HP, it almost doesn't do damage. Mage. Blizzard range has been decreased. Wow, okay. Wow. The mage and, I mean, I beat the whole campaign when I got deep into it by basically just getting mages and then spamming Blizzard. The mage actually could fire Blizzard into areas it couldn't see, if I remember right. Here's the big one. This is what prompted us to even go check this out. Ogre Mage, Bloodlust, duration 1,000 to 750. Mana cost per each unit enchanted 50 to 60. Double damage is now applied after armor reduction instead of before. So Bloodlust was the best spell in the game. And by the way, I'm not a Warcraft 2 expert. I think I can weigh in on an RTS game with my own experience. But Bloodlust is regarded as the best ability, bar none. My Bloodlust impersonation's like... It's interesting to see that they nerfed that slightly. That's probably good. You know, I kind of looked at Bloodlust as... I mean, first of all, I never thought they were going to remaster Warcraft 3. I didn't think they were going to touch RTS games after Warcraft Reforged. I thought this was like kind of... I thought we got StarCraft remastered and we you know, at least we were lucky enough to have that. So the Bloodlust damage, just a general nerf, I think that's a good thing. Especially when you have a game with only 2 races. I don't know that its Orc is necessarily better, but I think Bloodlust it's undeniably it's such a good ability. Okay. Dragon and Griffin. Gold cost now slightly reduced by 250. Archer and Axthor, base piercing damage, now up by 1. Upgrade axes and arrows, so the damage is increased from 1 to 2. But one thing I noticed with Warcraft 2, actually, I didn't really appreciate this until I played Warcraft 1. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, I do stream. I'm recording this right now on my Twitch stream, but we're going through the human campaign in Warcraft 1. We beat the Orc campaign last week. But I did notice that the archers and these, I think they're called spear throwers or spearmen, are way better in Warcraft 1. So it seems like when they made Warcraft 2, they tried to basically dial that back. But I did find, generally speaking, that the axe throwers or archers were kind of useless to make. And I might be wrong about that. Again, I'm not a pro gamer at this game, but so it does seem like there's going to be an overall buff here. Research time has been decreased and cost. And that's the same with level 2. I do remember when I was playing Warcraft 2, looking at the upgrade cost and kind of thinking, like, it's not worth it, you know? At least once you're able to make units that are past archers and axe throwers. Longbow, light axe upgrades. Just cheaper overall. It does cost some lumber, though. I remember thinking this upgrade was insanely expensive. And by the way... Well, I'll get to Berserker Regeneration while my eyes darted down there. Scouting upgrades have been reduced. Yeah, the scouting upgrades, Berserker, range, marksmanship upgrades, all these were just... I remember them being so disproportionately expensive that I could not wrap my head around when I would want to spend the money on it. In the campaign, they did a really good job of limiting the amount of gold that you had in a mission. Like, you were pressed... You were given enough gold to make it work, but it was not enough that you could kind of sit and play like a BGH style game, which I think is good. I think a well-designed RTS game in a campaign should operate a lot like a puzzle. Like if you, not an overly complex puzzle, but it should be like you give it enough resources to make the right units to engage the right way. Even though that's a real challenge for players. Like if you look back at Warcraft 2 and Command and Conquer, which for that time period, they're basically regarded as the two best RTS games. Like I don't think there's a third RTS that really compares to the games from that era. And if you bring up StarCraft 1, by the way, chat, that was way later. Okay, I know it almost all feels like it came out at the same time, but there was a very specific time, and I feel like the campaigns were definitely really challenging, really made you think. You had to really try to understand the game to beat them. And we got bug fixes here as well. Fixed a crash that was occurring when you have a conflicting input with F10. Okay. Fixed a crash that was occurring when you have a control group selected and attack move at the same time. Fixed where players would be sent to different instances when the multiplayer game starts with a desync. Fixed a crash, you select a building that would be destroyed and subsequently select another building. Okay, I gotta say, Age of Empires? Yeah, actually I forgot about Age of Empires. But wasn't Age of Empires 2 kind of the definitive best one? First of all, I gotta say, this is so exciting to see games like Warcraft 2 getting this kind of attention. And the most exciting part is to see that there are actual balance changes. Like they're changing, and by the way, I agree with all these changes. There's nothing that I think is controversial in this patch. Age of Empires 1 was the same year as StarCraft. Yeah, so it was a little bit later. There's no reason you have to stop playing a game. I mean, that's kind of the I don't know. I mean, this is why StarCraft has been such a great game. And StarCraft 2 has been such a great game. StarCraft 2 is like 14 or 15 years old now. StarCraft 1 is, I think, 26 years old. Warcraft 2 is like 28 years old now or something like that. And honestly, when I went back and played it, I had so much fun. Like, if you haven't played through the Warcraft 2 campaign, not only is it fun, and everything from the sound effects to the music, it controls pretty well. But it's a great multiplayer game too. It is my hope that they actually add a ladder. There are some problems with the StarCraft 1 ladder. In case anybody from Blizzard is watching this, in the StarCraft 1 ladder, one of the issues is that you can have as many accounts as you want, basically. So, and the reason why that bothers me is that there's no way for me to tell what my true rank is. Like, if you look, I watch Snow play a lot. Snow has like 10 accounts in S rank. So I don't know where I rank in the grand scheme of things. Like, I'm a high B, low A rank player on my best days. I don't know if I'm in the top 10,000, the top 1,000, the top, 500. I bet I'm not. But, it's like, if there was a way to just show each person's highest rank and eliminate the lower ones so you could just see the true ranking, if that makes sense, that would be nice. The good thing about the StarCraft 1 ladder is that you can go up, but you can also go down. And that's important. At the end of the day, and I think there's, in general, in game design, there's a little bit too much of an obsession with game developers talking about getting new players on board, which I get it. You don't want to just have the core audience. But I think when it comes to ladders, you should really just listen to the core audience. I don't think there's a single person who plays Warcraft 2 who would not want a ladder here. And I think if you could add that in, that would be huge. That could really spark a competitive scene. There's a lot of people like me, or people from Age of Empires, or people from Warcraft 3, all these other RTS games that would probably enjoy hopping on and playing a little bit of ranked Warcraft 2. And you know what? That would probably give you a bump in sales, Blizzard. So consider it. And other than that, I mean, I think like a lot of people, I was in a little bit of a depression as you know, the Blizzard esports people all got laid off. Warcraft Reforged came out. At the time, it was a disaster. And I kind of thought, well, that's just too bad. At least I can always play StarCraft, right? I'm still getting to cast StarCraft 2. We were just in Riyadh for that. We just finished this season of SSL, which was formerly known as ASL. So I thought, well, at least I've got the game, but it's too bad because Blizzard, I thought, was basically going to not give any more love to RTS games. So to see this is pretty cool. I just hope they add a couple more things into the game that will basically allow it to be a healthier multiplayer environment. I mean, and whether that's just, patches or, again, adding a ladder, making sure, I don't know how much work it is to make sure people aren't hacking in games, but it does feel like whenever there's a bug in StarCraft 1, someone figures out that basically breaks the game, Blizzard patches it. I don't feel like I play hackers online in StarCraft 1. I mean, it's hard to know, right? But it feels like there's no cheating. Or when there is cheating, it feels like it's squashed pretty fast. But yeah, this is exciting news. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. Would you be interested in having a ladder in Warcraft 2? Even in Warcraft 1, why not? I don't know how complicated it is. I don't know if you cut-paste the code or what it requires, whatever. Would you be interested in me hosting a big show match or a tournament on my channel? I would be open to that idea. I don't actually know how many people are active or good at Warcraft 2, but it could be fun. And you're always welcome to join me on my Twitch stream. Check out my merch shop, by the way, tastelessthreads.com. We got a lot of cool RTS, esports, kind of hardcore gaming related stuff. We've got this Tastosis shirt over here you can get. Thank you for joining me for this video, and I hope to see you in a future video. Take care. Bye-bye.